afternoon, welcome to Coronado TV channel. Breaking news today highlights. One passenger survived the Air India plane crash in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Vishwas explained that when he woke up there were dead bodies lying around him, he is now being called the Son of God, the Conqueror of Death. There were 242 people on board. Of these, 169 were Indians, 53 British nationals, 7 Portuguese and 1 Canadian. Vishwas Kumar Ramesh, a British citizen of Indian origin, had come to Gujarat from London to see his family. He was returning to London with his brother Ajay Kumar Ramesh. He was traveling in seat A11. He was lucky to escape with injuries to his chest, eyes and legs. Plane crashed into UG hostel mess of BJ Medical College in Meghna. 5 students who were eating in the hostel died after the plane crashed into the hole where students were having lunch. Air India has also announced compensation for those who died in the accident. All passengers burned to ashes, only one survived. Did Vishwas escape? A British national named Vishwas Kumar Ramesh miraculously survived. There are 5 lucky people in history who survived even though the entire plane was destroyed. Vishwas Kumar 2025 survived the plane crash that occurred in Ahmedabad on June 12, 2025. He was sitting in seat number 11A and was the only survivor, although the entire plane crashed and 242 people on board died. There have been 4 such incidents in the past. Julian Quepke, Vesna Vulović, Cecelia Cichan, Bahia Bakari have survived plane crash. Now Vishwas Kumar joined this list and becomes the 5th lucky person to escape the jaws of death. It is a rare event when all the passengers on board are presumed dead when a plane crashes and one of them survives. There have been 4 such incidents in history. In a plane crash in 1971, Julian Quepke was the only survivor even though all the passengers died. Vesna Vulović was also the only survivor in a plane crash in 1972. Cecelia in 1987 and Bahia in 2009. Now Vishwas, who survived the plane crash in Ahmedabad in 2025, is the 5th lucky survivor in the same line. Julian Quepke 1971 Lanzap Flight 508, a Peruvian airliner, crashed. There were 92 passengers on board. Julian Quepke was the only survivor. She survived the plane crash from 10,000 feet. She survived alone in the jungle for 11 days. There were 14 other people with her, but they were seriously injured and died one by one in front of her. She was the only one left. This is one of the most amazing events in the history of aviation accidents. Vesna Vulović 1972 on January 26, the Serbian airliner Jet 367 exploded in mid-air and fell from an altitude of about 33,000 feet. The disaster was caused by a bomb hidden in a suitcase by terrorists. There were 28 people on board the small plane. 27 of them died. However, Vesna Vulović was flight attendant on the same plane, was the only survivor. Despite having broken her arms, legs and ribs, hip bones, she recovered after several months of treatment. However, she could not walk with her legs. However, she was never afraid of flying. She enthusiastically returned to work. She texted off and she died on December 23, 2016. Cecelia Cichan 1987 Northwest Airline Flight 255 crashed near Detroit, USA. It also crashed minutes after takeoff. Of the 154 people on board, 153 were killed. However, only 4-year-old Cecelia Cichan, later renamed Crocker, survived. She lost her father, mother and brother in the incident. She was rescued by a rescue operation and they are still alive. Bahia Bakari in 2009 Yemenia Flight 626 crashed in the Indian Ocean. The crash occurred north of the Comoros. There were 153 people on board. 152 of them died. However, only one young woman, Bahia Bakari, was breathing, holding the body of her mother lying around her. She was rescued by the rescue team that reached the crash site 9 hours later. She is still alive. In 2025, Vishwas Kumar survived the plane crash occurred in Ahmedabad. He was sitting seat number 11A. He is the only one survivor, although the entire plane crashed. 242 people on board died. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Ahmedabad on June 13 in the wake of the plane crash that occurred on June 12. First, he will visit the hospital where Vishwas Kumar Ramesh, the sole survivor of the incident, is undergoing treatment and inquire about his health. Later, he will visit the house of former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, who died in the same incident, and offer condolence to his family. A 14-year-old boy named Akash died in the Ahmedabad plane crash. He was neither a passenger on the plane nor in the medical hostel where the plane crashed. He was in the stall next to the hostel. His mother just had fed him and was sleeping when the plane crashed. The flame from the plane's fire reached his stall and destroyed it, killing him along with it. The worst plane crash in India so far. India has had over 100 aircrafts. In 1938, a Tata Airlines plane crashed shortly after takeoff near Juhu, Mumbai. This was the first accident to occur in India since the inception of civil aviation. 169 of the 230 passengers were Indians, and there were 242 people on board the crashed plane, including 230 passengers, pilot, co-pilot, flight crew. Of the passengers, 52 were British citizens, 7 were Portuguese citizens, and 1 was Canadian. The remaining 169 were Indian. It is said that 10 of them were children. Bollywood star mourned the tragedy. Shah Rukh Khan shared a touching message on X saying he is deeply sorrowful and offered prayer for all the victims. Kareena Kapoor Khan described herself as absolutely gutted by the incident, expressing her deep sorrow for those affected. Salman Khan, Amir Khan, Shah Rukh Khan opted to postpone or cancel public events as a mark of respect and mourning. Salman cancelled a major Mumbai appearance. Amir and Shah Rukh Khan also refrained from public engagement. As the nation mourns this heartbreaking tragedy, we stand in solidarity with the victims and their families. May their soul rest in peace and may such horrors never repeat again. That's all for now. Stay tuned as we bring you more verified updates on this developing story. This is Vision TV Rangbang Karunadi TV channel reporting with a heavy heart.